Alright guys, let's do the recap for today. It was a little bit of a weird day because I had a really amazing trading day on day trading, and then I did some options trade, created bull spread, and really unfortunately didn't work out properly. So we're going to explain exactly what happened step by step. So I'm going to talk about the trades that I Tesla. That was day trading, was really nice. That was a very nice trade. I'm going to explain that. I had one scalp on AMD. That's famous to Bella scalp that we presented on New York City. And then I had the three options trade that they call them put spread on AMD, on Tesla, and on NVIDIA. On Tesla, I made really good money. On AMD, unfortunately, on AMD, I'm gonna really probably have to take a really bad loss, which is okay because I'm kind of learning and I'm going step by step on that. So overall, today might be actually very small profit day because I have these losses. Unless market bounces, these two on this account and on this account are going to give me a really bad loss, but this one was profitable. So essentially, that's what I want to talk about is a couple of really important trades, and let's take a look at it step by step. And the open positions that I have is actually here. So let me actually bring the open trade. So I have right now put spread on AMD. So I sold the puts of AMD on 103, and I bought protection at 100. Which was kind of not nice because probably AMD is going to close between these two, and I'm going to lose money on this and I'm going to lose money on that. The protection was cheap, but the loss on this one is probably going to be really bad. And that's the same thing on NVIDIA. Try to catch a bounce on NVIDIA. So I sold the puts at 445. I bought protection at 437.50, and as you see, I'm down $5,000 on my trade, and my protection is offering me $600 right now. Then because NVIDIA is really trading at around 437.50. If it continues going lower, then I'm going to be hedged 1-to-1 below 437.50. But so that's the maximum loss that I'm going to get because I have the protection here. But if it closes in between, that's the worst case scenario, which is mostly it's going to get into that. It's going to be a loss here, but again, the learning process on this for me is important. I already mentioned that this is not a good trade, but again, you learn sometimes. And I'm the kind of person who love to trade. Maybe I shouldn't have really do 10 contract. Maybe I should have gone with 2 contracts or 1 contract to just learn the process. If I would have gone with 1 contract, my max loss would have been $500. But let's see how it goes. Sometimes you have to take these losses to learn. But let's see what was the trade, and it's very important to actually see that. Let's go through the Tesla. At the open, Tesla, market was gapping up a little bit. Later turned out to be a really horrible sell-off. At the open very strong, going up, and then it pulled back, to the VWAP, and I said, okay, it's gonna be a 1 minute opinion range breakup. So I went long, and then quickly dropped, and I got stopped out. And so that was a really bad loss on that. Plus, quickly, this candlestick was so bearish that I decided to take the trade on a short side. So I flipped my position heavy on the short side at 277, and then we rode that all the way down to previous day close, and even the lowest part that I covered, I think, was 271. So as you see, even though I got stopped out on that quick scalp in 1 minute opinion range breakdown, we could really got this very nice trade, and it turned out to be a very profitable trade for me. The first trade that I did on the put spread was around the bounce around 272. So what I did, 272.50. So let me actually hold this one here and then bring my trade that I did. So 272.50 and 265. So I sold the puts and then bought the protection at 265. In this quick bounce, I made money and I covered it quickly. And I should have really stopped trading after that. That was really like $8,000 profit or something like that. But again, I wanted to learn a little bit with this AMD and Tesla and NVIDIA, but turned out to be a negative day for me. So that was my trade. And then it come to NVIDIA. I think I sold the NVIDIA at let's come here. So here NVIDIA around here was 445. I thought that is going to hold this level, so I sold the puts here, and I thought that it's going to bounce. It really broke down, and it came back up, and during the day actually. Let me go to the 5-minute chart. So as you see here, it did came back up. I could almost got out of it at the break even, but really broke down, and I was just not available to cover my position here. So that turned out to be really bad. So 47.50 is my protection. Below that, I'm 1-to-1 protected. But if it closes in between 445 and 438, it's going to be probably the maximum loss that I'm going to have. So the more, if it's going to come above around here, my loss is going to be smaller, because now by the end of this day, 445 is put on me. So I have to buy an NVIDIA at 445. So that's that's the number that it's going to be put on me. Most likely is not gonna reach to 445, and again below 437 is my protection. If you go below 437.50, I'm protected. So that's the maximum loss that I'm getting from here. So if it closes right here just at 437.50 is probably my max loss. If it goes bounce back by the end of the day, which I'm gonna see what's gonna happen, my loss is gonna be smaller and smaller, because I'm gonna, at the end of the day, it's forcing me against the Friday. It's put on me these shares that I have to buy. Same as AMD. AMD was also a trade that, we did a quick bounce on AMD here at this 104.50, then sold off. And again, I thought that this level of 103, 102 is on a hold. Sold the puts at 103, bought the protection way too below. 100 was way too below. So again, I wanted to get a bounce from here, and I want to, bought the protection way too below. So if it closes in between, I'm gonna lose money, which is most likely is gonna by the next 90 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna hit even the lower right now. So let's go through the 15-minute chart here. Yeah, so my trade was here. So I said that it's gonna be between 103 and 100. Was it 100? Yeah. So, and it's most likely it's gonna close in between. AMD is down 5%, and these are the days that usually you get really heavy loss on that. Yeah, so, and I hope that it's by the end of the day bounce back to 100, 103. But if it closes at the low of the day, which is most likely is gonna do today, my loss is gonna be very, very heavy. As you see, there's a big bid here, 101.50. So we're gonna break the 101.50. Just look at that. There's a huge bid here, 101.50. There's also one big ask here, so it's kind of awkward, but let's see which one is going to win. So it looks like the traders are bidding at 101.50. Obviously, market was very, very weak today. It turned out to be a bad trade, and a couple of $1,000 loss on the options. But again, sometimes you have to have these kind of trades to learn. I wish that I was really trading a little bit better. On a daily chart, AMD. So this we had this level at 103. That's one of the reasons that actually I took that trade, because I thought that this is gonna really stay. And then now we're heading toward this level, 101. And then obviously I don't think there's enough time to go to 199. I should have bought some protection at maybe 102 or 101. Yeah, so let's see what it's gonna do. It's very likely that 101.50 is gonna break. The market really sold off at around 1. I don't know if there was a news or something. It's just market really sold off, and it turned out to be a very, very weak day for Qs and S&P 500 as well. So as you see, really the whole market sold off together, all the asset classes, and now I'm hopeful that it bounced back a little bit, and this bounce can help us to recover some of the losses. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Market, that's how the market works. You learn some, you gain some, and again, the day hasn't ended yet. Although it's very, very unlikely that the market is going to do a bounce today. All right, guys. So that's it. Let me see if I have any screenshots and examples that I want to share with you on the level 2. Yeah, again, these are the levels that I just wanted to mention that here. So at 103, so this is the level that I had at that time, and you see a very huge bid sitting here at 103. That shows the break of that level, and it did essentially break that. So the bids are really turned out to be a very, very weak day for the stocks. Again, we did that bounce, and then the bids are really stacking down, going toward the 103.25. And by the time the 103.25 was my first target for the bounce, and that's okay. Sometimes it happens, sometimes you really cannot do much. It's just, sometimes it's that That's how it works, you know, that sometimes you really cannot get these balances. It seems that the market, you know, when it starts selling up, really goes down. You know, when you look at this, or when it starts going up, it really goes up. You know, not a lot of, you see, most of the days are either bullish or bearish. Not all, you know, sometimes you get these weeks. I don't think this is going to be one of those days that, you know, you'll really bounce back to 105. It's going to be continuing the sell-off. There's no buyer in the market right now. Have a good day, guys, and see you guys in the chat room.